Let's get to this story now. President Trump and the First Lady to visit Texas for a second time tomorrow, this time with an added stop in Louisiana. The First Lady and the President also surveying the damage in Louisiana, this after Vice President Pence visited Texas yesterday. But watch this, the media giving its opinion on which visit was better. Now, according to the media, Vice President Pence reached its so-called standard of the appropriate amount of empathy. Here's another headline, Politico, Pence shows Trump how to sweat it out. Washington Post, Pence offers a personal touch. And here's this one from Deadline, Pence stepping in as consoler-in-chief. We've got Economist Ben Stein joining us now. Good to see you, Ben.
How are you?
What's your reaction to the media coverage here?
Well, of course, they will use every opportunity they can to make fun of Trump and to belittle him, when in fact he has gone down there, he's shown his concern, he's brought his wife down there, he's shown his concern, he's spoken of the glory of Americans helping Americans and the Citizens Army helping Americans, and I will add something else. He is pointing out that we have black Americans helping white Americans helping black Americans. We have no racial barriers here, no racial baiting here. We have just a group of Americans helping another group of Americans in need. And I think this, in a moment, in a way, is a tragedy, but in a way is a glorious moment for America. Yeah,
and Ben, you got to wonder if the media is really reporting what's happening on the ground. Here is sound of the president's reception by the Texas Harvey victims. It sounds like the president got a warm welcome earlier in the week. Let's listen.
Thank you, everybody. Thank you. Thank you, everybody. Thank you.
Ben, why is the media pitting Trump against Pence? Is this what victims of Harvey want to see in the TV coverage?
No, and it does not do anybody any good. If your living room is filled with water, if you don't have power, if you don't have air conditioning, if the food in your refrigerator is going bad, if your children are sick and they cannot get to the doctor, it doesn't do you a darn bit of good for someone in the media to say, oh, Pence could have done it better. It doesn't do anybody any good. All it does is whip up trouble. And, you know, the great thing about what was going on here was we didn't have Black Lives Matter saying, oh, it's the white person's fault. We didn't have the neo-Nazis people saying, oh, it's the black people's fault. We just had people helping people, and now the media is trying to divide us up again. This is a situation where Americans need to come together and not have the media trying to divide us up again. Media, get your heads out of your rear ends and realize you have a chance here to speak up and to make Americans feel good about being Americans and make Americans feel good about helping their fellow Americans. This is a chance for the media to shine, too.
Yeah, it's a good point. And, Ben, the reporting shows, and the facts show, that the administration has mobilized 24 federal agencies, 21,000 federal workers stepping in, including the Pentagon. And the president basically, well, let me back up. You would think $1 million donation to Harvey victims is great, right? Well, except if it comes from President Trump. Now, the president pledged $1 million of his own money to Harvey victims. And remember, the president is donating his salary as president. But Newsweek finding reason to criticize the president's $1 million donation, saying, you know what, Trump's a billionaire, who Trump himself once said that $1 million was a small loan back in the day when his father helped him out. Twitter also reacting, saying, well, isn't he worth billions? $1 million is a drop in the bucket compared to all the money he's making. Ben, what's with the sniping here?
Look at the sniping here is about angry, jealous people. You know, Bob Dylan, the greatest poet of our era, said there are a lot of people who have knives and forks and they don't have anything on their plate and they've got to cut something, so they've got to cut Mr. Trump. Now, I don't see any of these other billionaires. There are an awful lot of billionaires in this country. I don't see that many other billionaires stepping up and offering $1 million. We've certainly never had a president doing that before, and this is a generous gesture on his part, and the fact that he's down there cheering people up is an even more generous gesture. Look, you and I are grown people. We have probably had occasion to wait for a check for the government for something, for an income tax refund or something. It's not going to come right away. It's not going to come in time to help people. What people need now is encouragement and to be given the strength and confidence of their own convictions. If Mr. Trump can do that, that helps a lot more than sniping at him, and it helps a lot more than government bureaucracy dragging his feet getting a check.
You know, just a thought experiment. We know we've been talking about these armchair critics here. What if you turn the tables on them? How much money do you think they are donating?
Well, I'd like to know that. I'd like to know how much the top dogs at NBC and CBS and ABC and MSNBC are donating. I suspect it's not very much. And you know, a 1 million donation is a small donation. There are an awful lot of other good causes in the world too. He can't give $1 million to every one of them. Nobody's that rich. Not even Warren Buffett is that rich. So it was a very generous donation. It was very. If he hadn't given anything, if he had just gone down there and cheered people up, that would have been plenty. There's just no amount of criticism that's enough for the media to level at this man. There's just a kind of sickness about it. To be doing it in the middle of this human tragedy when they could all be saying, let's all get together and congratulate each other on what we're doing. That's what they should be doing. As I keep saying, look, the pictures on TV of white men helping black men helping white men, black men helping little white children, white children helping little black children. These are the pictures that make America great. This is what makes America great. Let's focus on this and not snipe at the president.
Yeah, you know, we've been saying all week, when Mother Nature is at her worst, Texas shows human nature at its very best.